So in this segment, we're going to be talking about the UK to unilaterally continue suspending Northern Ireland border checks. So the UK has made a unilateral decision to continue suspending border checks on farm produce and other goods entering Northern Ireland from Great Britain, a move likely to antagonise the EU but not provoke further action. And, in my opinion, I'd be amazed if the EU did not add this to the lawsuit they already have against the UK. What's the endgame for either side? It's puzzling. The UK seems to be willing to keep breaching international law. The EU wants to settle it via the October proposals, but that looks more and more unlikely. The EU did offer some more proposals, and I'll go through that soon. London notified Brussels of its decision on Thursday in its formal response to 7 lawsuits brought by the EU over alleged failure of the UK to comply with the Northern Ireland Protocol. So this is related to a letter the UK sent to the EU, but we don't know the full contents of it. But evidently the UK have told the EU that we're doing more unilateral changes to the protocol. The UK will also request that a full specialised committee on EU programmes, the official forum for Brexit implementation issues, takes place next week to discuss the ongoing exclusion of Britain from the flagship Horizon programme. We have a specialised committee for the Northern Ireland Protocol, which isn't really used. Why would the EU agree to more of this committee stuff? And why would they add more committees? It doesn't make sense. This could be read as a sign that the further action will be announced next week, with the potential for Article 16 to be triggered, or announcement that the UK is formally ready to re-enter talks. I don't think they'll trigger Article 16. I think we'll continue with small breaches like we have done for a while now. A Commission spokesperson said it needed time to consider the response. We have received a reply from the UK. We will now analyse the reply before deciding on what's the next steps. He said, source said it will be more likely to centre on the discussion about the UK's continued exclusion from Horizon rather than anything else, which it's interesting that the EU are going to focus, their response to the letter is going to be focused on Horizon rather than on the breaches of, the Northern Ireland Protocol. It's not hard to figure out why we're not in the Horizon programme. I've covered that before. Downing Street is not making any statement on the matter until 10 days have passed the morning, because apparently the Queen's more important than international law. The UK believes the continuation of the grace periods for checks on goods will create the space needed for solutions to the protracted row with Brussels. I'm not sure how further breaches of the law help with negotiations. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. It will mean farm produce, including sausages, ready meals and dairy products from Great Britain, can continue to be delivered in shops in Northern Ireland without physical checks that comply with EU standards. Why these supply chains have not been moved out at this point, I have no idea. And any company that can move out its supply chains out from GB to NI and hasn't done so, it's moronic at this point. It really is. The UK argues it's necessary to move to preserve business stability, as well as fulfil a promise to the unionist political parties which object to this protocol. But in terms of business stability, if these businesses keep thinking the UK will unilaterally extend these grace periods, and at some point we don't, where's the certainty for that in businesses? We've seen that with Brexit as well, where certain deadlines were put in place and then they weren't acted upon. For us to use this argument, we broke our promise to unionist parties in 2019 and just caused them more problems in Northern Ireland. Remember, they said there'll be no trade border in the Irish Sea. These unionist parties would rather burn down Northern Ireland than actually understand the Good Friday Agreement, actually uphold it. Brussels is not expected to respond until it's fully assessed the UK's response, so I'll keep an eye out for that. The EU has been bracing itself for another bruising battle with the UK over the Northern Ireland Protocol after Truss's decision in June to table a bill for new laws that would enable them to scrap parts of the protocol. So that's the Northern Ireland Protocol bill. The lack of political rhetoric occasioned by the death of the Queen could avert a difficult meeting with Biden, which I think has been delayed, on the sidelines of next week's funeral and in potential bilateral with Liz Truss in the US next week. So effectively what they're saying is, because the Queen has passed away recently, it's going to simmer down tensions between the UK and the US over the Northern Ireland Protocol for a bit as the mourning period continues. The letter to the EU comes 2 months after the European Commission launched 4 infringement proceedings accusing London of failing to comply with the application of the customs checks and risk controls on the movement of goods into Northern Ireland. It also accused the UK of failing to implement VAT rules, so we've covered this sort of stuff before. The 4 proceedings followed 3 separate legal suits issued by the previous month by Brussels. Legal proceedings began in March 2021 when Frost first unilaterally suspended the protocol. Brussels, that was delayed by the EU. Effectively, they kicked it in the long grass, hoping that they could figure out things via talks, which didn't happen. Brussels is now expected to push ahead with the legal process, like the UK will pursue a twin track approach aimed at finding a negotiated solution. So effectively what that means is the UK is going to continue to play hardball and try and use that in negotiations to pass the Northern Ireland Protocol bill, but use it as leverage to get some sort of further concessions out of the EU. It's very strange, it doesn't make sense. So I'll keep my eye on this stuff. We're approaching a slight lull with the passing of the Queen, and I think the EU are taking their time with their response. I'm not sure how much the EU will keep waiting for an outcome. They're taking legal action, but that's a slow burn. Legal action takes time. For the outcome of it, the EU Commission can try and rush it through the European Court of Justice, but it will still take a few months minimum, as courts kind of reopen, I think, after the summer recess. So it'll be interesting to see how much the EU actually push it, but I think they would rather get a sort of something based around the October proposals rather than having to drag this thing via court, which the UK are going to argue the European Court of Justice has no jurisdiction, which is just going to cause more issues. But anyways, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Support the channel on Patreon if you can. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one.